Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. Because if you're watching this right now, your life is about to get a complete overhaul. I'm Andrew Tate, and I'm not here to coddle you with fairy tales or soft whispers of, you can do it someday. No, today we're ripping the Band-Aid off your excuses, shattering the illusions holding you back, and forging a path to the top where winners live. You've been scrolling through your pathetic routine, dreaming of more, but doing nothing about it. That's over. Watch this, absorb every word, and change your life starting right now. Because the truth is brutal. The world doesn't reward the weak, the lazy, or the dreamers who stay in bed. It crowns the disciplined, the relentless, the ones who seize power. So buckle up. Your transformation begins here. Imagine waking up every morning not as a slave to your alarm clock, but as a king commanding your destiny. That's the life I'm talking about. And it's not some distant fantasy. It's yours if you stop lying to yourself. Hook number one, stop being average. Average people blend into the background, collecting participation trophies while the elite build empires. I've escaped the matrix, the soul-crushing 9-to-5 grind, the societal chains that keep you broke and begging. You think comfort is your friend? It's your enemy, whispering sweet nothings while it drains your potential. I drive Bugattis not because I got lucky, but because I chose discomfort daily, pushing weights when my body screamed quit, studying markets when others partied, building networks when isolation tempted me. Right now, pause this video and ask yourself, what one habit is killing your progress? Identify it, crush it, and watch doors fly open. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're the architect of your empire. Rise up or stay buried in irrelevance. But let's get real. Change isn't a gentle stroll. It's a war against your weaker self. Hook two, embrace the pain because glory lives on the other side. I've been kicked down, banned, canceled, betrayed, but I came back stronger, turning setbacks into fuel for dominance. You're probably nursing grudges or scrolling for validation instead of hitting the gym, learning a skill, or stacking cash. Discipline isn't optional. It's the currency of champions. Start small if you must. Wake at 5 a.m., cold shower to shock your system awake, then attack your goals like a predator. No more "I'll start tomorrow" bullshit. That's loser talk. I built my life on unbreakable routines. Meditate to sharpen your mind. Read books by winners like me to rewire your brain, and surround yourself with high-value people who elevate you. The Matrix wants you distracted, addicted to dopamine hits from social media and cheap thrills. Break free. Invest in yourself, courses, mentors, real estate, whatever it takes to multiply your worth. Your future self is screaming at you. Stop wasting time. Act now or regret forever. Now picture this. A year from today, you're not the same broke, frustrated version scrolling endlessly. You're financially free, physically unbreakable, mentally untouchable. Hook three. Winners don't wait for permission, they take it. I've mentored thousands to escape poverty, build businesses, and live like gods because they adopted the top G mindset, ownership over everything. Family, provide like a lion. Health, train like it's war. Legacy, build it brick by brick, no shortcuts. But it starts with one decision: watch this and commit. Delete the apps that waste your hours, audit your circle, cut the dead weight, and dive into action. You're capable of greatness, but only if you stop sabotaging yourself with doubt. The elite one aren't smarter, they're hungrier, more disciplined, willing to outwork everyone. Join them. Your life changes not by magic, but by the fire you ignite inside. Listen closely, because this is the hook that separates the lions from the sheep. If you're content with average, you're already dead inside, drifting through life like a ghost in a world that devours the weak. Picture this. You wake up, drag yourself to a job that pays just enough to keep you chained, scroll through feeds of other people's wins, and whisper to yourself, someday it'll be me. But someday never comes for the average. They fade into the wallpaper of existence, collecting dust on forgotten dreams, while the elite, the one who refused to blend in, stack fortunes, command respect, and live on their terms. I'm Andrew Tate, and I've been there, trapped in the grind, punching clocks for peanuts, until I said enough. The top G mindset isn't a gift. It's a weapon you forge by rejecting the lie that good enough is ever enough. Right now, pause whatever you're doing and confront the mirror. Who are you really, a spectator or a conqueror? Because average isn't neutral. It's a slow poison eroding your edge, your fire, until you're just another statistic in the Matrix's game. Hook yourself out of that delusion. Mediocrity thrives on excuses, those sneaky whispers that justify your stagnation. I'm too tired. The economy's bad. I don't have the connections. Sound familiar? Those are the chains the system hands you disguised as reality. But winners, they snap them like twigs. I built my empire not from a silver spoon, but from the dirt of discipline, waking at dawn when the world slept, trading comfort for cold calls and calculated risks, turning every no into rocket fuel. You think success is luck? It's not. It's the deliberate choice to stop being average, to audit your life like a CEO reviewing a failing quarter. Start today. List your top 3 excuses on a piece of paper, stare them down, and burn it. Literally. Feel the heat as a symbol of your commitment. That's the spark, the raw, unfiltered decision to embrace the top G path where discomfort is your teacher and potential your playground. Now, let's crank up the intensity with this undeniable hook. Average people build walls around their limits, but empires demand you tear them down brick by brick. I've mentored men from broke basements to boardrooms. Watch them transform not by wishing, but by weaponizing their will. You have that power too, buried under layers of societal conditioning that tells you to play small, stay safe, fit in, reject it, identify the habits dragging you down, the late night binges, the endless distractions, the friendships that celebrate your complacency. Cut them ruthlessly, replace them with actions that elevate, read voraciously about those who've escaped the ordinary, network with doers who challenge you, invest time in skills that pay dividends, coding, sales, whatever skills you're worth. The thrill hits when you realize obscurity is a choice and you've been choosing it daily. But flip the script. Visualize your empire, not a vague hope, but a blueprint, financial freedom flowing like a river, influence rippling outward, a legacy that echoes. That's the top G allure. Unlocking potential isn't mystical, it's mechanical. Grind the gears of discipline and watch mediocrity shatter. One more hook to seal it. The moment you stop being average, the world bends to you, not the other way around. I've raced supercars through life's fast lanes because I refuse to idle in the slow lane of sameness. You're one decision from that velocity. Crush those excuses not tomorrow, but in this instant. Declare war on your former self, step into the arena of excellence, and build the empire that screams your name. The potential inside you isn't a whisper, it's a roar waiting to be unleashed. Seize it, own it, and never look back. Feel the burn right now. This is your wake-up hook. Pain isn't the enemy. It's the forge where weaklings melt away and warriors emerge unbreakable. Imagine staring down your reflection after a grueling workout, sweat stinging your eyes, muscles screaming for mercy, but instead of quitting, you push one more rep, one more mile, because deep down you know glory doesn't hand out trophies to the comfortable. Change isn't a cozy chat over coffee. It's a brutal war against the softer version of yourself that's been whispering lies of ease and entitlement. I've lived it, kicked to the curb by the system, body battered from fights and failures, yet every scar fueled my rise from the trenches to the throne. You think setbacks are stop signs? They're accelerators. The weaker self clings to Netflix nights and snooze buttons, dodging discomfort like it's poison. But real power, it's hammered out in the relentless fire of effort, where discipline turns agony into armor. Right here, right now, commit to this truth, embrace the pain, or watch your potential wither on the vine. Hook into the raw reality. Discomfort is the gatekeeper to dominance, and most people knock once, then run back to their blankets. Step up, feel the heat, and let it reshape you into the force you were born to be. Snap out of it. This is the electrifying hook that jolts you awake. The Matrix isn't some SCI-fi plot. It's the invisible cage of soul-crushing routines you've built around yourself, day after monotonous day, trapping your potential in a loop of distraction and defeat. Picture the average grind. Alarm blaring at 7 a.m. for a commute to a cubicle prison. Eyes glued to screens peddling envy and escapism. Evenings lost to mindless feeds that promise everything but deliver nothing. You're not living. You're surviving. A slave to algorithms and obligations that keep you broke, bored, and begging for more. I've shattered those bars. Escaped the 9-to-5 trap, the societal script dictating your worth by a paycheck, by recognizing the Matrix for what it is, a system designed to dull your edge and harvest your energy for someone else's gain. Right now, feel that itch of unrest? That's your inner king clawing to break free. Delete the apps sucking your hours, Instagram illusions, TikTok traps, and reclaim your throne. Freedom isn't handed out, it's seized when you audit your life and torch the time wasters lighting the path to nowhere. Hook deeper into the deception. Distractions are the Matrix's deadliest weapon, disguised as harmless habits that erode your destiny one scroll at a time. They whisper, just 5 more minutes, while stealing your prime years, turning high-potential hustlers into hollow shells, chasing likes over legacies. I know the pull. I once wasted weeks in the haze of endless notifications until I cut the cord, redirecting that energy into empire-building moves like strategic investments and skill mastery. You must do the same. Identify the vampires in your routine, the late-night TV binges, the gossip-filled group chats, the comfort foods numbing your ambition, and evict them without mercy. Build high-value habits instead. Mornings claimed for meditation and planning, fueling your mind with books by titans who've transcended the ordinary. Afternoons laser focused on revenue generating tasks, whether it's launching a side venture or honing a craft that scales. The professional edge sharpens here. Network with visionaries who elevate, not echo your excuses. Track your time like a CEO monitors profits, ensuring every minute compounds toward control. Seize your destiny, not by wishing, but by wiring new circuits. Automate the mundane, delegate the draining, and amplify what aligns with your ascent. Now, ignite with this unbreakable hook. Living like a king demands ditching the slave mentality, where routines rule you instead of you ruling them. Now, I've mentored countless from matrix misery to mastery, watching them pivot from passive consumers to active creators, trading wage slavery for wealth streams, isolation for influential circles. Your escape blueprint is straightforward yet savage. Wake before the world to plot your conquests. Curate an environment of excellence with tools that empower. Journals for clarity, apps for accountability, mentors for momentum. Distractions fade when you flood your days with purpose. Cold calls to collaborators, workouts that build unbreakable resolve, financial audits revealing leaks in your freedom fund. Feel the shift? That's power surging from reactive drudgery to proactive dominance, where delays become decisions and obstacles opportunities. The matrix preys on the unfocused, but you? Arm yourself with routines that reinforce royalty, evening reviews celebrating wins, no compromise boundaries against energy. Thieves, a vision board mapping your liberated life of luxury and legacy. One razor-sharp hook to propel you forward. True control blooms when you stop outsourcing your fate to clocks and calendars, stepping into the driver's seat of a life engineered for excellence. I've navigated bans, betrayals, and billions by redesigning my reality, deleting doubt, installing discipline, emerging sovereign. Mirror that. Challenge every have to with choose to. Transform commutes into podcasts of power, weekends into workshops of wealth. High-value habits compound like interest in a vault. Consistent reading rewires your worldview. Deliberate networking opens doors to deals. Physical training fortifies the fortress of your will. The slave fades, the king rises, commanding boardrooms with confidence, negotiating life on your terms, building assets that outlast the grind. Break free not tomorrow, but in this breath. List your chains, snap the weakest first, and watch the matrix crumble as your empire expands. Grab this truth like a lifeline. Here's the hook that rewires your entire existence. Discipline isn't a chore, it's your currency. The hard-earned coin that buys freedom, power, and dominance in a world that trades weakness for scraps. Winners like me don't sit around waiting for motivation to strike like lightning. That's a fool's game, leaving you paralyzed while opportunities evaporate. No, we command routines that carve sharpness into the mind and steel into the body, turning ordinary days into orchestrated symphonies of progress. I've built empires on this bedrock, rising before the sun to conquer workouts that would break lesser men, channeling focus into ventures that multiply wealth exponentially. You feel that pull toward procrastination? That's the enemy testing you. Counter it now. Set your alarm for 5 a.m. Step into a cold shower that shocks complacency awake, and watch how that single act ignites a chain reaction of unbreakable habits. Discipline compounds. Start small, stay consistent, and soon you'll dominate fields where others merely dabble. Your worth skyrocketing from spectator to sovereign. Hook into the mechanics of mastery. Motivation is fleeting, a spark that flickers out, but discipline is the engine that roars on demand, propelling you through storms of doubt and distraction. Picture the elite. CEOs closing deals at dawn, athletes shattering records through ritual, entrepreneurs scaling businesses from garages to globals. all fueled by routines that prioritize progress over pleasure. I live it daily, early rises, not for coffee and chaos, but for strategic planning that aligns my empire's gears, skill-building sessions where I devour knowledge on markets, negotiations, and leadership, emerging sharper than the day before. You must mirror this precision. Audit your mornings. Replace snooze button surrender with structured strikes, 20 minutes of meditation to laser your intentions, followed by physical drills that build resilience, then targeted learning in your arena, be it coding for tech empires or sales scripts for influence. The professional payoff is profound, bodies honed for endurance, command, respect in boardrooms and bedrooms alike, minds fortified against failure, turning impossible into inevitable. Don't chase feelings, forge the framework that forces excellence, and motivation will follow like a loyal shadow. Now, seize this electrifying hook. Your routines are the forge of fortune, where daily disciplines multiply your worth until you're trading in the currency of kings, impact, income, and immortality. I've turned raw potential into billions by refusing to let whims dictate my wins. Instead, I command cold exposures that toughen the spirit, early awakenings that claim the quiet hours for creation, and relentless skill acquisition that outpaces competitors asleep in their comfort. Implement it ruthlessly. Track your day in a journal, eliminating energy leaks like aimless browsing or half-hearted efforts, infusing instead high-octane actions. Language, lessons for global reach, financial modeling for wealth waves, networking drills that build alliances of steel. The engagement surges when you see the transformation, colleagues deferring to your disciplined aura, opportunities gravitating to your sharpened edge, personal benchmarks crushed like glass underfoot. Discipline isn't punishment, it's privilege. The secret sauce separating the top one who dominate industries from the masses milling in mediocrity. Elevate your game, pair physical rigor with mental marathons, cold showers evolving into ice baths of resolve, early rises birthing breakthroughs that redefine your trajectory, one unyielding hook to lock it in. Commanding your routines isn't optional. It's the multiplier that turns survival into supremacy, sharpening you into a force that fields bow before. I've mentored warriors from wastelands to wealth, witnessing how consistent cold starts jolt the system awake, dawn patrols plot paths to power, and skill stacks create moats around your success. You hold the reins, grip them, visualize your field of dominance, whether finance, fitness, or innovation, and blueprint routines that assault it daily. Feel the rush as discipline deposits dividends, vitality that vibrates with victory, intellect that innovates effortlessly, net worth that networks naturally. Push past the initial resistance, the yawn of reluctance, the chill of challenge, and emerge elite, your currency clinking with conquests. Build it brick by disciplined brick. Morning's own, skill surged, body and mind melded into a machine of mastery. The field awaits your takeover. Step up, structure it, and watch domination unfold. Lock eyes with this savage hook. Ownership isn't a title. It's the throne you claim by gripping every thread of your existence, turning chaos into command and excuses into empires. Imagine providing for your family not as a distant duty, but as a lion's roar, fierce, protective, unyielding, ensuring their world is fortified with security, opportunity, and the unbreakable backbone you instill. I've done it. Rising from scraps to supply legacies that span generations, because true men don't delegate destiny, they dominate it. You feel the weight? That's your cue. Audit your provisions today. Stack savings like shields. Launch ventures that generate passive rivers of revenue. Teach your kin the art of resilience so they never kneel to weakness. Financial freedom isn't a lottery win. It's the byproduct of ownership, where every decision echoes with provision, shielding your pride from the storms that sink the unprepared. Step into that role now, calculate your net worth, blueprint income streams, and watch how owning your obligations transforms obligation into opportunity. Your family thriving under the shadow of your strength. Hook into the battlefield of the body. Train like it's war, because your physical form is the fortress of your future, demanding relentless sieges against complacency to emerge invincible. Winners don't stroll to supremacy. They charge through gauntlets of grit, sweat, forging muscles that mirror mental might. I train daily as if the enemy lurks. High-intensity circuits that torch fat and temper will. Martial arts drills sharpening reflexes for life's ambushes. Recovery protocols that rebuild stronger than before. You must enlist. Design your regimen like a general strategy. Weight sessions that build power for provision. Cardio that sustains the long haul of legacy laying, flexibility work to adapt to whatever war throws. The engagement ignites when pain becomes proof. Each rep a rebellion against frailty. Every mile a message to mediocrity. Ownership here means no shortcuts. Hire coaches if needed, track metrics like a commander reviews troops, and integrate nutrition as ammunition for the fight. Unbreakable strength isn't gifted. It's seized through ownership, your body a testament to the wars you've won, commanding respect in every arena from family firesides to financial front lines. Now, seize this empire-forging hook. Building a legacy without shortcuts is the ultimate ownership act, etching your name into eternity through calculated conquests that outlast your breath. I've crafted mine brick by unyielding brick. Investments in real estate that appreciate like allies, content empires that influence millions, mentorships that multiply my impact across souls. Audit your circle ruthlessly. Surround yourself with lions who sharpen your claws, not leeches draining your drive. Network with high-caliber collaborators. Sever ties to those celebrating stagnation. Invest in yourself as the prime asset. Courses that catapult your expertise, books that broaden your battle map, experiences that expand your edge, whether traveling to master markets or diving into disciplines that diversify your dominion. The professional thrill surges as ownership aligns assets, family fortified, form fortified, future fortified, financial streams flowing from owned enterprises, strength sustaining sustained success, legacy looming large. Claim it, map your milestones, allocate resources like a mogul, and let every investment echo ownership, turning personal power into perpetual prosperity, one piercing hook to propel the charge. Financial freedom and unbreakable strength converge in the man who owns everything, auditing life like a ledger to ensure no deficit dulls his dominance. I've turned ownership into opulence, providing lavishly yet wisely, training ferociously to fuel the fight, legacy laying with laser focus on scalable systems. Mirror the method, review relationships quarterly, pruning the poisonous funnel funds into self-sovereignty, education, equities, health habitats, heritage horizons. Feel the fusion, family flourishing under your fierce provision, body battling as a bastion, legacy launching from lived leadership. No half measures, own the audits that reveal realities, invest boldly in blueprints that build unbreakable bonds and balances. The life you claim pulses with power, strength that stands sovereign, freedom that flows freely, every element owned in the grand design of your dominion. Hit the ignition. This is the detonator hook that blasts you from blueprint to battlefield. Commitment isn't a casual nod. It's the savage decision that ignites your conquest, turning theory into triumph and regret into relentless rule. Imagine staring down the elite one, those hunger-driven dominators who've outworked the world to claim crowns of cash, command, and conquest, not by chance, but by choosing action in the face of fear. This speech isn't fluffy inspiration. It's your war manual, demanding you make the call right now, act or atrophy. I've lived the pivot from Matrix Minion to Top G Titan by committing fully outworking doubters daily, transforming every what if into watch me. Feel that fire in your gut? That's the blueprint activating. Delete the distractions, declare your dominance, and join the ranks where greatness isn't dreamed, but devoured. Starting today, your life shifts from spectator seats to sovereign strides, regret evaporating as you conquer what once controlled you. Hook into the heart of the hustle. Outworking everyone isn't optional. It's the oxygen of the elite, the grind that separates survivors from sovereigns in an arena rigged for the relentless. Winners don't whisper wishes, they roar through routines that crush competition. Dawn patrols plotting power moves, midnight marathons mastering skills, alliances forged in the furnace of focus. I outwork the odds, training till tendons tore, negotiating till nerves frayed, building brands while others binged, emerging not exhausted, but exalted. You must match that ferocity. Audit your efforts today. Amplify the actions that align with ascent, cold calls to collaborators, content creation that captivates, investments that ignite independence. The professional pulse quickens here. Track your output like a tycoon tallies treasures, eliminate energy enemies, and watch how outworking the ordinary catapults you into circles of influence where deals flow and doors swing wide. Commitment fuels this fire. Decide now to double your daily dose of discipline and feel the elite energy surging. regrets receding as your empire expands brick by unbreakable brick. Now grasp this galvanizing hook. Joining the one demands hunger, not handouts, a voracious appetite for greatness that devours doubt and digests dominance, transforming your trajectory from timid to triumphant. The elite aren't born. They're built through bold blueprints executed with unyielding urgency. Mentoring minds that multiply, scaling systems that sustain, legacies launched that linger long after. I've pulled protégés from the pit, watching them commit to the conquest, outworking peers in boardrooms and gyms alike, hunger honing their edge until they hunger no more for mediocrity, but for mastery. Mirror that mandate, visualize your vault of victories, then vault into action. Enroll in courses that catapult competence, network with navigators of net worth, measure milestones with merciless precision. The engagement explodes as transformation takes hold, bodies battle-hardened, banks burgeoning, brotherhoods of the bold bolstering your climb. This isn't theory, it's the tactical edge you seize today. Outworking the world to weld yourself into the warrior class, life leaping from lackluster to legendary, one thunderous hook to thunder through, your decision now dictates domination. Flipping the script from regret's cage to conquest's crown, where the elite one thrive on the thrill of total takeover. I've conquered continents of challenge by committing utterly, outworking isolation with innovation, bands with unbreakable brands, weakness with warrior will. You command the same capacity. Act immediately on this blueprint. Outpace the pack with purposeful persistence and hunger for the heights that heal all hesitations. Professional prowess peaks in this pivot. Strategize like a general. Execute like an emperor, evolve like an icon, feel the forge of fortune forming, regrets reduced to rubble, greatness grasped in greedy hands, life liberated through the lens of the elite. Commit, conquer, and claim the chaos as your canvas. Starting this instant, outwork, outlast, and ascend to the apex where only the audacious arrive. So as we wrap this up, remember, this isn't just words. It's a blueprint for domination. You've watched, you've heard the hooks, now execute. Go out there, conquer your day, and build the life you deserve. The world is yours if you claim it. Stay hard, stay winning, top G out.